Hey there, folks. I'm Isaac, and my wisdom echoes.
And I'm Claire, and I can make a table.
And this is Make That Game.
We'll pitch the latest,
The greatest
new video game ideas
that won't ever get made.
Nope.
And folks, let me warn you.
Yeah.
We're out in the open. We're not in the closet. We decided not to do the closet.
We're not in the closet.
Yeah. So the cat may be making noises.
Yeah, like more than... there's been cat noises in this podcast before. This might be more intense.
Yeah, we can't control him, but he has been skimpering dice around
the floor,
here,
screaming,
meowing, thumping, up and down the stairs.
So any unexplained
throwing
sound
himself against the wall.
That happened. Yeah, so any unexplained sounds, please just blame Lewis, and that's what that is.
That's our third host today. And he has a lot to say and do, but not a lot of meaning behind it.
Yeah. So anyway, before we get to our game ideas, because what we do on this podcast is pitch game ideas back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that this will be our last episode before 2025. New episode.
That's true, but there will be a stream still.
There will be a stream. So on the 21st, Saturday the 21st.
You will be able to tune in and watch us.
Yes, me specifically will be streaming. Well, we're both always there, but it's my turn.
Yeah. No, you basically just gave me leeway to just not.
No, be there. Your couch. We trade off. No, I'll be streaming Echoes of Wisdom. As long as I don't finish it by accident before then, but I don't think I will.
No, you've got
some
dungeons left.
Yeah, I think at least 2 left.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, and it's a work week before Christmas. What am I going to play video games?
Exactly.
So there's that to look forward to. If we feel like it, we might release another New Game Plus, like a rerun just for fun. Potentially that.
We do that now.
Otherwise, look forward. Our first episode in the new year will probably be the 3rd week of January, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Because you have to go to your Everwinter.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing a tournament. I'm playing tabletop games.
Yeah. So it'll either be like the 2nd or 3rd week. And because of that, I also wanted to say that Awesome Games Done Quick, the speedrunning marathon that we both love,
starts the 3rd, the 5th.
On the 5th, on January 5th. So this will be the last time we get to talk about it.
And it ends on the 13th.
Wow. The 5th to 13th feels longer than 7 days, but I know it's not.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that maths. I'm pretty sure
I think
that
you're
maths.
right.
Maybe it's the 12th? It doesn't matter.
It's definitely the 12th.
Okay, fair. All right. Well, okay. Yeah.
Right?
It doesn't feel like 8 or 7 days because I named 8 days. Mm-hmm. So it's actually only 7 days.
Anyway, I just thought I would get those announcements out of the way. So this is technically season 3. What you've been listening to. So in 2025, we'll have season 4.
Woo!
Woo!
We're
a lot
seasonal.
of podcast.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, I just wanted to get those announcements out of the way first so that we're all hyped for the new year and for AGDQ and for the holidays. And yeah. And that you know that we're coming back. We don't want to just disappear into the ether.
Yeah. No. We will be back. Sometimes we disappear, but only for like a week.
Yeah. We aren't going to leave you
We're
behind.
bad at social media is what it is.
We're really bad.
We are bad.
I'm good at watching TikTok.
Did we check the email?
Well, we did. We checked the email at least
a week ago.
Recently enough because we have a theme from a listener.
Yes.
Which is very exciting. So listener Meganette emailed in a theme.
For our game ideas. And we contemplated this theme. And we came up with games that suit the theme.
Suit the theme. Could be related to the theme itself.
Ooh, that's a hint. All right,
because
everyone. You've got 3 seconds to guess the theme. 3, 2, 1. Did you guess? I'm going to let you say it.
Oh, I thought we were going to say it at the same time. That's why I was making that face. Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah, there was a visual gag that, you'll never see.
Yeah, well, maybe in 2025 we can get a camera down here.
Now
that we're out of the closet.
Cameras.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. The theme is, I'll let you say it.
Armour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that can mean many things.
It could. But Isaac, what did you decide it meant for your game this week?
All right, for my game, I decided that it meant this is a... How do I describe it? I just realized I didn't come up with like a genre description, like an elevator pitch for it. So I guess I'm just gonna not do the high level description and just dive into the nitty gritty.
Great. Let's go.
You play in a post-apocalyptic, like future dystopian, like deserted wasteland kind of setting. You have a tank that you drive around the desert. You battle other tanks for loot,
like Tank Wars. Is that what it's
things.
Called?
What's Tank Wars?
It's like a maze, and there's 2 tanks, and you're one of the tanks.
Okay,
and
yes.
Okay.
But I'm imagining more complex gameplay.
Yeah.
More like World of Tanks.
Good.
I guess.
Okay.
So like you are directly controlling the tank, but it's not just like an overhead view. You move left, right, up, down, and like shoot the cannon. You have like actual aiming and stuff that you're doing. I guess it would be like really a third person shooter.
Yeah.
The gimmick here is that each tank has like a frame, and then on that frame you can put all kinds of like weapons and specifically armor to like make a custom tank. And each thing has different stats, and like if you get shot in like an area where you have cardboard armor, that shot is going to punch right through, damage internals. And then if you get hit on like titanium armor.
Yeah, I'm really interested in the fact that there is cardboard armor at all. That's intriguing.
Oh yeah, that was actually the first I saw the word armor, and I immediately thought of cardboard, and tank and cardboard doesn't go together, but I want to maintain the cardboard. So like,
do you like start as a cardboard tank?
I feel like you start as like a junky iron rusty tank, like it's really bad armor. I think that the cardboard exists like as a joke item. Like you can find cardboard.
It's like cardboard couch in Animal Crossing.
And actually, I just came up with a new mechanic that makes the cardboard make slightly more sense, because this is like a dystopian, post-apocalyptic, like technology isn't good enough, and like people aren't like super like, it's not like they have like, it's common to have like a scanner that will be like, oh, they have that kind of armor. So like you could make cardboard armor, and if it's intimidating enough, it might like scare bandits off.
Okay.
Like they might be like, that like looks
huge
like
spikes on the top of your thing, and it's like, oh, it is, but it's made of cardboard.
That looks like intense armor. Like I don't think any of our guns can penetrate that, so we just won't mess with this guy. So like maybe there's like, maybe it's like a joke item, but also it's like, yeah, if they fail like a perception check or something, like they think it's real and they peace out. Or even as the player, like if bandits are coming up with cardboard armor, like unless you have certain sensors or something, you won't actually know that that's cardboard armor. You'll just see something that looks like it's got pretty thick armor, and then you'll like spend time trying to flank around it, and then you shoot it once with like a sidearm or something, and it just blasts through. Or like you use your flamethrower on it, expecting nothing to happen, and then the entire thing just burns away.
Into flame. Now I want to go back a little to what you said when you said you saw the word armor and your first thought was cardboard. Can you like walk us through that thought process?
Well, everybody knows that cardboard, you get cardboard. Every person's first instinct is to imagine it as some kind of armor.
Okay, so that's it. That's
like, okay, you get a long box, right?
Yeah.
And it's exactly the length of your forearm. You are putting that on.
I think you are putting that on.
You just got a new piece of armor.
I don't know if one is putting that on.
No, everybody. This is a universal.
I have never once done or thought of that.
You don't associate cardboard with armor?
No, I've never done that.
Folks, can you believe this? I expect 19 emails backing me up.
MakeThatGamePodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Let us know. Have you thought, what is your first thought when you have an empty cardboard box?
Like specifically, like, okay, it's got to be the length of your forearm. And so like a box that had like a bottle in it. Like imagine you order a thermos. It comes in a box.
Okay.
That thing is going directly on the arm. That is your forearm armor.
Forearmor.
Okay, yeah, exactly. See, you're getting into it. See, it works. And, you can make cosplay armor out of cardboard.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not saying
it's not the best material, but, like, as baby's first cosplay.
Here's the thing. It's not the last thing I think about with cardboard.
What is the last thing you think about?
I mean, I would. It's hard to know because it would be the very last. Probably like this is a good storage box, because like regular cardboard's not going to be that good of a storage box.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I thought you were saying it's not the last thing that you think of, like, for the word, like, cardboard isn't the last thing you think of for the word armor.
Armor isn't the last thing I would think of to do with cardboard, but it's also not the first thing I would think of.
Okay. Fair. Okay. So
anyway, sorry, go back. I just wanted to hash that out. I didn't quite see the connection.
And so the key mechanic for like acquiring, like, you salvage armor from things that you destroy, and so it can get damaged during the fight and whatever, so you might like have to destroy really good pieces of armor to get it. You can find like basically chassis around the wasteland, and imagine basically parade floats. That's what a tank or a vehicle in this game intrinsically looks like at its core.
Okay.
It's like you get
good.
The engine, you get the wheels or treads or whatever, and you've got like an iron frame, and then you weld whatever, or weld or duct tape or glue whatever pieces of equipment you can find on it. And
it's feeling very like Mad Max, but tanks.
Exactly. That's what it is supposed to be. And I think one like important statistic of these like frames of these chassis is going to be like hard points for like sticking guns and stuff on, because I don't imagine it being like, okay, I'm going to place like a sheet of armor on it, and then I'm going to put a gun on that armor. I imagine that the gun is attached to the frame directly, and then the armor is all around it. So like those are the key things that you're looking for. I don't think that I don't think that this is like a randomly generated thing. I think like enemies can be randomly generated, but I don't think like this just plops like random chassis down on the world. It doesn't.
What's a chassis?
Chassis, like the frame.
Okay.
Like the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't just like drop these randomly. It doesn't have like a randomly generated world. Like it's all intentionally placed so that like if you open up the game and somebody posts online, they're like, oh, if you go to the graveyard at latitude, longitude, there's a really good tank frame for you to get. Yeah, that's my game. It doesn't have a name. It's called. I
mean, I kind of like Tank World. World of Tanks.
No, that's a game.
That's a real game? Oh, yeah. I thought you were making like a World of Warcraft joke.
No, there's a game called World of Tanks.
Oh, okay.
So
and it's not this game.
No.
Okay.
So this game is going to be called Tank World.
Okay, what is World of Tanks if not this game?
You play as like real tanks, and it's like a team.
Okay, so there's no like silly goofiness, is what you're saying.
I think there's silly goofiness. I just don't think there's like from what I remember, and things might have changed, like you don't like customize tanks. You're just like, I'm gonna play a Sherman, and then it's like a team based like shooting game.
Yeah.
With tanks.
Okay. I'm just curious. Okay. All right. Tank World.
Yeah. 5 out of 5. I invest $10 million into my own idea. Yeah.
Good,
wow.
good,
amazing.
Good.
I win today's episode to make that game. Incredible.
That's not how that works. You don't even know what my pitch
secretly
is.
It is.
You don't even know.
Secretly it is.
You don't even know what my pitch is yet.
Okay. Well, enlighten me. Okay. What is your pitch?
So mine is called Armour.
Like Amore?
Like Amor, like love.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's Armour. Okay, all right.
And it's because I spell armor like that all the time by accident.
Oh, you spell it like ARMORE?
MOUR.
Wait.
Amor.
Oh, that's the British way of spelling armor.
Well, it's
ARMOUR? Right?
Yeah.
Armour?
Yeah, that is actually.
Okay, that is how it's spelled in every Warhammer book. So you're not even doing a typo. You're just British.
Well, it also Amor is also is love.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's called Armour.
Isn't that spelled AMORE?
No. Not in
Oh,
French.
the French way is AMOUR. Okay.
Yeah, I just
All right.
double checked to make sure because I was doubting myself.
We are on the same page now.
Okay.
I thought French was still the Italian amore. Ignore me. Ignore me.
Anyway, okay, so this idea is a new category we're calling half-baked, where it's like the concepts of an idea.
A new category? Don't we have this category already?
Well, we just named it half-baked as of the cookie episode. We used to call it something else, but now it's newly named half-baked.
Okay.
But so the idea is that you start like really buffed up with armor. Like your armor is like 10 out of 10.
Okay.
And the part that I can't get, so what I want to happen is basically like this game is about losing your hard exterior and falling in love. And to like remove pieces of armor, yes, it gets rid of like your physical protection, but it also will give you some kind of like benefits over the course of the time. So like removing your helmet like does something like is a plus and a minus, right? So you have to like make, basically I want the game mechanic to be, you're like making these trade-offs for different things all the time. So like you could walk around fully armored up, but then you're not going to be able to like do something, you know, like again, it's half-baked. I haven't really been able to like grasp onto it, but you kind of see the mechanical, like how I want the player to have to think about it.
Okay. Do you envision in your brain, do you conceive of this as you like always have the armor available and you can like take it on and off at will? Or do you conceive of this as like, if you take your helmet off, you throw it in the swamp, it sinks, and it's gone forever?
I think a little bit of both. I think maybe when you do take it off, it's gone forever, but there's options to get it back. Like you can like buy a new helmet or like, you know, so it's like, it's not like you'll never have a helmet again, but you won't have that helmet again.
Okay.
Maybe.
Here's something that I'm thinking of. You do start off with literally the best armor in the game. And every armor that you can buy in the future is worse.
I like that. Yeah,
if you give it up
the
once,
backwards of like leveling up, basically.
Yes. So if you give it up at any point, yes, you can get armor back, but it will never be as good as what you already sacrificed. Yeah. So there is always an element of sacrifice.
Yeah, I like
that. But
that.
there is like, you can kind of walk it back.
Well, yeah, and it's like what I'm struggling with is like what do I give the player to make it worth that? And like what the quest actually is. Like that's where I'm stuck.
So I'm going to tell you one thing. You can't smooch with a helmet on. So if the goal is to actually like find love, that's got to go.
Right.
The helmet at some point has got to go, which also means that the helmet needs to give the most powerful buff. Here's what it is.
You can't hold hands if you have a big metal glove. You crush them.
You can't hug with
so it's
with armor.
Like some kind of dating sim mixed with like an adventure game. I don't know.
Yeah, like the hard part is
like I guess also like yes, there's that, but I also want there to be some like actual like benefit you get, like
right. The hard part is it's too easy to make this like a railroaded kind of, you hit certain points and it's like to progress
it's
you
like
need
you
to
have
do
to
this.
take off your helmet, or it's like I want them to be able to kind of like work it like
so
the way they want to.
I'm imagining that there's multiple endings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's like the bad ending, which is you leave the armor on the entire time. Like yes, you beat the game, it was
like,
easy, but you don't. Yeah, but at what cost? You like don't get the best possible ending. The best possible ending is for you to like beat the game naked, I guess, because that's the most open
well, you'd
to
have
love.
Clothes, like
you
under
are
it.
No, without armor.
There would be a speedrun category for sure. That's naked %.
Yeah.
Take it all off in the beginning, never get it back.
The problem with having like pros and cons for taking armor off is partially if the pros of not having armor are high enough, why wouldn't you just take all the armor off
because it
immediately?
will be situational. So like each level will have a different, like maybe one level without the helmet is easier because you can use your charisma to convince the town folk to like do something. But then the next level, like it's just people shooting arrows at your head. So like crap, what do I do now?
I actually like that idea. Like one of the levels is like there's a hallway like filled with traps or something. And if you have the armor, you can literally just walk down it and it's like effortless. Like there's nothing going on. Whereas if you don't have the armor, like you have to go like an entirely different, like way longer pathway. Because if you walk down the hallway, all the traps are going to like kill you. You like, there's no dodging it.
Yeah.
And I think that if there's like, if the game is just a series of sequences like that, where like one way, is like trivial. Mm-hmm. If you either have armor or don't, and then there's the harder way, but it like flip-flops back and forth each time. Wow.
Well, it can't be literally back and forth, but the point is that there's like
trade-offs.
And
also like you want it to be that there's like different pieces of armor have different trade-offs.
Right, and I think we can also use like real armor trade-offs. Like it's like you can't be quite as nimble. Like okay, if you're wearing the armor, you can't jump as high. If you're loud, you can't be sneaky. You can't see as well through the helmet, like that kind of thing.
Maybe there's like a little bit of abstraction, right? Like obviously, realistically, if you're wearing everything but the boots of a suit of armor, you're basically going to be almost exactly as not stealthy as if you were wearing everything and the boots.
Yeah.
But we could like make it so like if you're not wearing the full plate boots, even though it doesn't make full sense, we're gonna you can now stealth, but you've lost your boots and you can never get as good foot protection. So if you walk on spike traps, like there's tier 1 spike traps and tier 2 spike traps. The leather boots can only protect against tier 1. So tier 2 are always going to pierce you now, no matter what you do for the rest of the game.
And then I do think there should be like a romance element, but maybe it's like you're like a classic, like rescue the princess or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But like if you show up in full armor, she's just like,
oh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, knight.
Bye.
I don't know who you are under there. So
yeah.
I don't understand who you are as a person. You haven't revealed enough to me. Emotionally.
Okay. Final scene of the game, right? Yeah. You rescue the princess and she like gives that whole speech and there is a button like shed your armor, yes or no.
Oh.
And if you do decide to just completely shed your armor, like no matter what you pick, basically what happens is the princess is revealed to be the final boss. It is the monster in disguise as the princess. So, like, if you shed your armor
for you, and then it's like...
But then you get betrayed, which is, that's teaching you, the player, the lesson to never open yourself up.
But that is the opposite of what I wanted the game to be. That's actually, I came into this being like, I basically wanted to, like, reverse the buff up system. Mm-hmm. For an emotional story arc. So no, I don't actually want that to be the end case. It's funny, but it just would undo all the work I've done in my game design. Anyway, that's Armour, which apparently is just how British people spell armor, which is honestly kind of disappointing. I did not know that. I thought I was doing a whole bit. I mean, it is a bit, but it's also not as much of a bit.
The British people just will not get it at all.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, armor. Yeah. Okay, a game. Okay.
No puns at all.
No.
So the British cover is going to have a heart in place of the O.
Yeah. Well, I think all of them should. That's cute. That's very cute.
Yeah, that's fair. It is cute.
Okay. Well, we just talked about rescuing a princess.
Oh, are we going to talk about a princess that don't need rescuing?
Yeah, because our discussion today is going to be discussing Echoes of Wisdom, which we've hinted at in our intros for a couple weeks now.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What?
You said your wisdom is echoing or something like that.
Oh yeah, I was just saying some stuff.
Yeah,
I was just saying it. So, what is Echoes of Wisdom?
Okay, Echoes of Wisdom is the newest game in the line of Legends of Zelda games, and it is the first game of the title game Legends of Zelda, in which you get to play as Zelda, the princess.
Technically the second.
What's the first one?
One of those terrible, notorious CDI games you could play as...
With, like, the weird animations?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could play as Zelda as one of those. Okay. I think Wand of Gamelon, that says something to me. But, okay.
Excuse me, princess. No, that's from the animated series.
Is it?
I think it is. Or is it from a game?
One from the game, the one that stands out to me from the game is I can't wait to bomb some dodongos. I made it too sing-songy because the song I'm obsessed with, I think he just says, I can't wait to bomb some dodongos. But then they made like a music video.
Yeah, and then Isaac says it all the time and then it gets stuck in my head. And then I do love bombing some dodongos. But that's not what we're here to talk about. So in this game you play as Zelda and we're going to talk about it. I have prepared notes.
Oh, okay. Whew.
So I figure, Isaac and I have both played. I've played longer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm but I also kind of want this to be more of a discussion than a honk and bonk, but I did write out honk and bonks. So I figured I'd read my honky bonkies and you...
Honky bonkies.
I don't know where that came from.
No, that's good. I think I've called them that before, but never on podcast.
And you never heard it at you either.
Yeah, no,
it was quite a shock.
Yeah, it's good.
And then you can kind of like fill in how you feel. I don't think we've ever really tandem done this, or if we have, it's been a while. I think because like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, we both played.
That's true.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta find my notes. All right. So, in this game, the biggest mechanic is that you copy stuff. And by that I mean there's like an item and it glows and you have a magic wand, it's a staff, and you can copy that item and then you can reproduce it. So like copy a table, make a table. Copy a monster, recreate that monster, but now it's on your side.
Copy paste.
Pretty much copy paste, yeah.
I guess it's more like a cut and paste because you have to defeat the monster in order to copy it.
For the monsters, yes, but for other things, no.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like stationary things, you don't have to.
But also you get like a backlog of things that you've copied. Like you don't you don't have to like have a pot nearby to copy
And I did think that's actually how it was going to be when I watched trailers for this. Like I thought
that's how I thought it was going to be too.
But it is actually like, like Isaac was saying, you have like everything you've copied, you can copy again.
Yeah, infinitely.
Well, kind of infinitely.
Yeah, but like if you walk 10 miles away from the chair, you can still copy the chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just mean like you can't. They have a limit on the amount of things you can copy at once to make the game like playable. Yeah, I guess. I think they're always gonna have some limit.
What if the end of the game is that
unlimited? Okay, that would be fun though. That would be a really fun God mode like experience. If
you just get the rest of the treasure chests in the world.
But yeah, I do think that's like genuinely very unique, especially the fact that you can copy like creatures and do things with that. Because with the tables and things like that, like, okay, yeah, I copied a table and I can climb on it and get more height, and that's like solving puzzles. Like, okay, I don't know, that's not, but then being able to be like, I copied a moblin and now I can paste him to fight other monsters for me.
Oh, this is completely random. Did you know that you can copy those like yellow guys that smash down and rise back up?
Nope.
Cool.
But wait, no, I think I might have, because it's the last time I saw one, it wasn't glowing. Maybe I haven't just never used it.
No, because they're monsters, so you have to defeat them.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep, well, I found out because
I
accidentally summoned an Octorok who happened to hit one.
It?
No, what happened was I put a trampoline accidentally on the edge of one, and it slammed down, and the trampoline hit and hurt the other one. I was like, wait, these can take damage. So I summoned an Octorok and held the other one in place to just shoot it, and then defeated it. And I was like, oh, I can copy this now. Wow. Yeah,
I will say, because also the spike ball. So if you've played like Zelda, or I think these are in Mario as well. They're like a black ball with spikes coming off with eyes, and they just kind of stand there.
Yeah, I think Kirby has them.
Kirby has them, yes.
Yeah.
But like a lot of Nintendo has them.
Yeah, I think they're called Gordos.
Yes. Usually you cannot defeat those.
Yeah.
You definitely can't in Kirby, because I have tried many times. But you can in this game. I guess that's kind of I don't know. It's like not a bonk or a honk, but it is interesting. Like there's lots of things that in previous games of this caliber you could not destroy, and therefore I personally don't think about it as something I could destroy and then copy. But like in this game you can do that.
Yeah.
So I'm ignoring them. I'm trying to move around them. But apparently that's something, because you can copy you can destroy and copy a Gordo in this game.
Yeah.
And I didn't know you could do the big smashy things as well.
You gotta go find one.
I don't really care. I don't like them. They're annoying.
They're
very frustrating to use. But I guess it is like a little elevator, so I probably do want it.
It is such a good little elevator.
But I just use water for my elevators.
Oh, that's fair.
Anyway. But see, that's the other thing, is you can do so many things to solve a puzzle. Like there's so many ways, and I saw an interview on TikTok about it where the people are saying the creators saying that there isn't one way to solve a puzzle, and they designed it that way. Like they really wanted you to be creative.
Yeah.
Which is different and fun, I think. I was worried it would be too overwhelming, honestly. I was like, I don't want to be overwhelmed by this, but it's not. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So that's a honk.
I think it's very interesting to watch you solve puzzles, because I will often like immediately like come up with an idea, and then to see you not employ that idea, I'm like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, it is fun to watch. That it does make it fun to watch other people play. Like when I watch you play, I'm usually like kicking myself, because I'm like, that's such a more direct way to solve that problem. Like I don't know, but it shows how different we think. And
wait till you see how I solve some of these problems with the thwomp block or whatever it's called.
I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about that one. I was literally just in a cave with one also, so I'm like, I don't know where that cave was, but I was like, shoot, I could have. Anyway, all right. The other one is, okay. The big thing that happened when this came out, people were like, we can finally play Zelda. And then it's like, and we get a staff. It's like, I hit him with table. And they're making fun of the fact that basically she doesn't have a sword.
She does have a sword.
She does have a sword. That's my honk.
But they didn't show that in the trailers. So like,
no, but I mean, I don't know. I just felt like there was like a lot of like to do about like, oh, of course, it's like the girl and she doesn't have a sword. Now, what I will say, that kind of bothers me. And I was trying to look at this closer last time I played to make sure. And I'm still not 100% sure. But when you go... So sword isn't like... She doesn't like have a sword. She has sword mode. Mm-hmm. Which is some kind of like mystical thing. Yeah. Where you get to use... Because she has the Master Sword, right? Or it's through the Master Sword.
It's not the Master Sword.
I thought it was the Master Sword.
No, because the guy made it.
Who made... Oh, right. That guy made it. Okay.
Luxberry or Lou Berry.
It's a good
sword.
Yeah. It's a good sword. So I guess she does physically have it because she can bring it to get upgraded. But when she uses it, she turns into a different being. Like she has more powers that are different. Like you can't use copy abilities in sword mode, and you can jump higher and you like move faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now what I don't like about it is that you turn into Link.
Like, oh, you do?
Like visibly. Yes.
Oh, I didn't.
It's hard to tell because you're also like glowing, and so because I was going to talk about it on the podcast the last time I played, I was like, I'm going to pay attention to make sure I'm right. But I'm like 85% sure.
Okay.
Which is a little annoying to me. I'm like, so she actually can't have a sword? Come on. Like, okay. But I will say the sword is very powerful. And this might also lead into a bonk, which is why this is more of a discussion than anything. But the sword is like a little too powerful, in my opinion.
What do you mean?
I mean, I can kill enemies in like one. Okay,
that's why they limited it so much. It's very limited.
But it's not. They give you so many chances to get energy. Like, it is not limited
That's for
enough.
the babies.
It's not limited
Just
enough.
don't pick the baby energy up.
I'm not gonna ignore the energy.
Ignore the energy because that is for babies. That is for little 4 and 5-year-olds.
Okay. Well, I also, before I get into the true bonks, which we'll go into, the story is pretty fun. I do like the story. I think it's good with the rifts opening up and you have to close them. And
it is. I found it very dark.
It is dark.
Very. I feel despair when I think about it.
Really?
Because like so much of the world is like consumed by these rifts. And like, yes, you are healing them back, but like
people have been stuck in rifts for like a long time.
Yeah,
like
and
months.
like this character that like knows about the rifts tells you that like they eventually dissolve away. Like these rifts have been happening for a long time. Yeah. A lot of the world has been eaten away by these rifts. How many people have been dissolved?
Yeah, an amount.
And like
an amount for sure.
And these rifts spread so fast. Like the game opens with like a rift like consuming an entire dungeon. It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
It consumes, spoiler alert, it consumes everyone's favorite little elf boy.
Well, yeah, I don't think that's a big spoiler. Do you say elf boy?
Yeah.
Link?
Yeah?
Okay.
What? He's a little guy
Yeah.
with blonde hair and pointy ears and a little pointy nose.
He's a
and
Hylian.
he wears a green tunic and a little green Santa hat. He's an elf.
No.
He's Santa's little helper.
He's a Hylian.
His other color is red.
Link is not an elf.
Okay.
Hylians just have pointy ears. That's just how
because
it is.
Hylians are elves.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I refuse to accept that.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
What I did think was silly though, story-wise, is so like Zelda learns about the rifts, and they're like, for months the kingdom has been plagued by these rifts, and like we're trying to close them and we can't. And it's like Zelda. And she didn't know who Link was, and everyone's like, Link was the best warrior in our town, and it's like defending the kingdom, and it's like, Zelda, you're the princess. I feel like you should know that this is happening before the start of this game, but okay. Anyway, I do think that the story's engaging. You know, it's like it keeps me playing. I like it.
The Carpenter family doesn't have pointy ears.
What's the Carpenter family? What are we talking about?
There's this carpentry company that appears in a lot of the games. I'm thinking specifically Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. That's where I most identify them from, but I think that they are in like Breath of the Wild and stuff. They have round ears.
They must be humans then.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Mario is a human from the Bronx.
Yeah.
In Nintendo world, so who knows?
Okay. Yes. How do they not have pointy ear? Okay. All right. We gotta move
Brooklyn?
on. We gotta move on.
I don't want to get people mad at me. I don't remember if he's from the Bronx or from Brooklyn. Anyway. Okay, the bonks are so like the battle mechanics are strange. I don't know if this isn't really a full bonk. It's both fun and weird.
I honestly find it loathsome.
You hate it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's folks.
Okay.
I think it's garbo.
Oh, jeez.
I think that the battle sequences, unless you are like very specifically like doing some cheesy crap, some janky cheesy crap, they take forever. If you're just like, I'm going to summon some guys and like watch them fight, it's going to take you 35 minutes to destroy a Zol.
Right, and that's what I'm saying about the sword being OP kind of. So like you'll summon a pretty high-ish level monster to fight another monster, right? You will, like you said, you'll sit there for like 3 full minutes watching them just battle it out. Like, yeah. And part of the frustrating thing is because they're both computers, then they're not like most monsters have, even the ones that you come across that aren't bosses, they have cycles, you know, like they'll like stab and then they like go back and give you an opportunity.
Important feature of like Legend of Zelda games.
Right.
Like they just, that's how enemies beat.
But computer v computer, they're not like waiting for the cycle. So they're just going in their own, like they both have a cycle. They're basically running like concurrently. And so they're not getting like the advantageous timing that you would if you were fighting it. So you just have to watch this like painfully play out, and then if you decide to go into sword mode, because I do sometimes just like I'm done, I can kill them in like one hit, and then it seems like the monsters I have are like 0 powerful. So I guess it's less that the sword is too powerful and more that the monsters are like not powerful at all.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like the monsters feel like they have inflated health, especially when like that one boar area early on, like Borblin area, they're like level 2. And so they're like, they attack faster and they hit harder and they have more HP than like other enemies in the area. So like when you're summoning things to fight them, there's like 3 Borblins that you have to deal with, like level 2 Borblin clubbers and like boomerangers and stuff. And you're like, all right, I'm going to use my dope Scorpion, who is just going to like burrow underground, appear behind them, attack once, do practically nothing for damage. And then the Borblin like turns around and just like does that hop, jump, swing attack and just instantly destroy it. And you're like, all right, I'll summon 4 more Scorpion. No, they just die instantly. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It is. So, but it also, I do find it a little bit fun sometimes. Like I do kind of find it fun to just like throw something out there and just wait, like I'm God, and I'm like, fight my minions.
It just feels like
but it's weird.
It feels like the number one sin any game can do in my book is overinflate HP, like hit points. Like I have I don't want to say sense because that makes it sound objective, but I have a pretty innate, I'm going to call it a sense, but just know that I don't mean this in an objective sense.
Okay.
I have a pretty innate sense of like when I feel like something should be dead. And a lot of games like meet this sense. Like I feel like Dark Souls and like all the Souls likes like 100% perfect. A lot of games that I play meet this, but just every once in a while there are games where it just feels like they gave things way too much like hit points to soak damage. And I notice that immediately and it like turns me off. Mm-hmm. And this feels like one of those games. The other game that I felt this with, when Destiny first came out, the like first person shooter MMO sort of game, mm-hmm. when that first came out, I was very excited for it. And like I watched a streamer play it and I saw like how long it took a streamer to kill an enemy. I was like, oh, that's way too long. Did not play it. Like, it took until Destiny 2 for me to even attempt to try it, and Destiny 2 had the same issue. So, yeah, I'm very sensitive to this sort of thing. So, like, it happening in a Legend of... actually, Tears of the Kingdom, I feel like, had this problem. A lot of enemies, I feel like, have, like, 3 times more HP than I feel like they should.
No, Tears of the Kingdom is messed up for you. We talked about this before. You're fighting enemies that were too strong for you because you accidentally found the boss too early. And so the game decided that...
That's right.
That's what was happening, is it was just completely unbalanced.
That's true. Okay, that's
the
fair.
game thought you had everything and started giving you the highest level bosses to fight, and you didn't. You just stumbled. It's like, oh, sorry, man, this is not my house. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Okay, you're right.
Which is still kind of a bonk that can even happen, but like...
Yeah.
It wasn't quite the reason why you're struggling with that in that game.
Okay, so I rescind that on Tears of the Kingdom, but yeah, anyway, combat system is a drag.
I guess I sort of disagree. Like I don't love it, but I also find some humor in it, and I do have fun trying to pick what's going to go out. It is a little bit like Pokemon in that sense. Like it's like my so and so will beat your this thing.
I mean, yes, it's like supposed to be. And in some cases it is, like, there are some enemies that are, like, ice-based, so if you get any fire attack into them, like, they'll instantly die, or vice versa, like, if you get fire wet or whatever, it'll instantly die. But for most enemies in the game, it just seems like you're looking for something that has a fast attack that does a lot of damage, because otherwise it's going to get its attack interrupted.
Right.
Like, when you summoned those birds against the crab's not even attacking. It's just the birds run into the claws because they come from above.
Because, again, they're all just on a loop. And it's like, they're not using intelligence because they don't have it. So it's just really frustrating. Okay, my other bonk is, it goes back to that thing where, like, I feel like resources are too easy to come by in this game.
So many chili melons or whatever they're called.
Yeah, so there's like, an overabundance of things to like make potions to gain health and stuff. Mm-hmm. I will say there's not a lot of slots for them though, so sometimes in dungeons I do run out. Like that does happen. Where
I didn't know you were limited in how many potions you can have.
Yeah, smoothies. If I make there are potions too, but if I make enough smoothies, I can't. Yeah, that's it. And it's not very many. So, if I make 3 smoothies that are like anti-fire, then like if I use them all in the fire dungeon, okay, that's it. So that there's that, but also like you can copy a bed and then you can rest and gain all your hearts back. So you don't have to eat smoothies or potions. You can just sleep. And now enemies will still attack you if you're in the bed, so you have to make sure you're in a safe spot, but still it's like basically infinity. You can always restore your hearts. And then for energy, like energy is what lets you use the sword. There's not a ton of it in the regular like world, but you can make smoothies that restore it, so like there is that. But when you're playing in the dungeons and in the stilled world, which is like inside the rifts,
like everything,
it's everywhere.
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
It's
and so
keeping you topped
you
off.
could probably just play in sword mode in there and you'd be fine, because also when you kill an enemy from the rifts, you get a crap ton of energy.
Yeah,
it's just it just feels unbalanced. It's like I do not ever feel scared about my resources. I'm like, I will always have what I need. And that's like a weird mentality to be in a video game.
Yeah.
Okay, my final bonk is that I guess it's my second to final. I just saw my notes. I don't like that echoes are decipherable.
What do you mean?
So when, like, table, you know you can echo it because it is glowing. And then you echo it, and then it is not glowing anymore. I think it would be more fun if you had to just try a lot of things. I think you should go around trying to echo anything that you see. And then there could be fun secret echoes.
Yeah, like bed that should be a secret echo.
Yes, that should be like an idea someone has to have and post in Reddit or something. Like, like I don't like that it is so spelled out for you what you can copy and what you can't. I think it'd be way more fun and also make the game longer if you could just go around trying to copy everything.
Yeah, no, I actually like that idea because that in like this game does encourage exploration.
Yeah.
It has rupees, treasure chest full of rupees everywhere.
Yep.
Which is not like the biggest incentive for exploration.
No, but I feel like opening a treasure chest for me is enough of an incentive as a gamer anyway. Like, I'm like, I don't care what's in it. I just want to get it open.
But just like the possibility of being able to find like a new echo if you go up this cliff or whatever. Like, I wonder what's at the top of this cliff. And it's like, oh, I've never seen this doodad in the world before. Yeah. Is this copyable?
Can I try it? And I think also
what might that even do?
I feel like that would help me get ones that I missed, because the one that was a monster that I don't think of as a monster, the one that Isaac was talking about.
I didn't think it was a monster either.
But now I think it has an eye, so it's probably supposed to cue in. But it's like, it wasn't glowing. So I didn't think of it as a monster, and it wasn't glowing, so I'm like, I can't copy this. Whereas if I was in the mindset of anything is copyable, maybe.
Yeah.
I might have tried more things. Like, I'm going to try to destroy this for longer. I'm going to, like, I might have given it more of my all to see what could happen versus, like, just saying, like, eh. And yeah, I don't know. It just is kind of disappointing when it's like, I know exactly what's copyable, and therefore I know there's a limit to copying as well.
Yeah. One thing that like is weird for me is how much doodads they like. Okay, you can get a Gerudo jar and a normal jar.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, I don't know.
What is the pro and con of each kind of jar there? Like, the different beds, at least it has different tiers. I think the jars are, like, the only thing that really has this problem.
Yeah, it might be. I can't think of another.
Because, like, a table and a crate are different because they're different heights.
Yeah.
And, like, a shrubbery is also a different height. That all makes perfect sense to me. A boulder is like a crate, but heavier. Okay.
It does other things, yeah.
A rock.
You can throw it. You can't throw a boulder. Too heavy.
Right, but then that makes me think a rock and a pot are basically the same thing.
Yeah, they are. Correct. Although a pot you can hide in.
Ooh.
Remember? And I was like hopping around in the pot. I don't know what the use case of that is, but it's really cute.
I wonder if that helps in those stealth sections.
I don't know. I've never tried it.
I wonder if guards won't even try to like chase you
if you're
in a pot.
I tried to use it to get into the Gerudo castle, and they did not let me in.
Oh, man. So. That would be a good use of the Gerudo pot.
Right. That's what I used the pot. I did use the Gerudo pot for that, just to be clear. Anyway, so and I'm not saying that I think everything should be copyable. I'm just saying that there should be the possibility to copy everything so that you always try.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree. Instead of saying, hey, copy this.
Right. Copy this, you'll need it. It's like, what do you think you should copy?
Yeah, we don't need Mickey Mouse being like, it's a special tool that'll help us later. Like, come on, man.
That's what Try is, actually. Try's basically Mickey Mouse walking around being like...
He's the one making everything sparkle.
Zelda, let's do it. Copy that table and climb on it. I bet you'll be able to do something with that.
Thanks, man.
I have a terrible Mickey Mouse voice. Okay, final bonk. Sorry, there's so many bonks.
Oh, we have another one.
Yeah. I think the world is deceptively small. And this might just be because I've played Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
You're right.
But like when you look at the map, you think, "Oh my God, there's so much world to play," and then you play, and you're like, "Never mind," because it's either like a lot of border that you actually can't interact with, or it's just like the scale is bigger. I guess I don't know. It doesn't. It tricks you into thinking it's very large, but it's really not.
Like when I compare it, so I think the fact that it has like open areas does itself a disservice. Link's Awakening takes place on a small island.
Yeah.
Every screen is a discrete like area. Like when you move off one screen onto another one, like that's transition. Even if it's like a wide open space, it still has that.
Yep.
I think the fact that you just seamlessly walk everywhere that you go, I think that does actually shrink it down. And
oh yeah, no, you're right. That is the difference, I think.
yeah. I also think that the world itself is actually smaller than, say, Link's Awakening, because when I'm thinking about Link's Awakening, it is quite a few tiles wide. And what it is, the seamless transition and the ability to just like basically from the start, you have like almost full, like once you get the table, the crate, and the shrubbery,
which you get in the
and
tutorial.
The bed,
so
yeah, those are in the tutorial. You basically have access to literally any location that you want. There are very few locations that you need anything more than those.
No, that's true. That's very true.
And so if there is like in Link's Awakening, if there is a pool of water.
Yeah, and you haven't gotten a swimmy whatever yet.
Right.
Then you can't go. You're like, uh-oh. But in this one, it's like, I'll just use I'll make a bridge out of beds, and then I'm done. Yeah. I crossed it. And it's like, okay. Yeah, so it might not even be physically smaller, but like it feels smaller because you have to work less hard to explore.
Yeah.
But I also do think it's small. Like, for some reason, there's 1 million like warp points in this game. Like, there's like just like so many warp points.
Traveling from the Gerudo Oasis to Gerudo Town, where each has a checkpoint.
It takes like a second.
It is, I kid you not, 15 seconds or less.
Yeah, but there's also 2 different warp points for those. It's just...
Yeah.
But so because of that, when you look at the big map and you see 2 warp points, you're like, that must be really far. But it is not. It is not far at all. And so that is annoying. So I do feel like we bonked this game more than we honked it. But I also just want to say I do like this game. It's fun.
It's enjoyable.
I'm having a good time. But
it's not my favorite Zelda game, but...
It's not my favorite Zelda game either.
Not everything can be Link's Awakening.
No. Well...
This game does not have enough Twin Peaks in it.
True.
To satisfy my number one... My actual number one Zelda game is Majora's Mask, which also probably has a lot of Twin Peaks influence, honestly.
I have to... So yeah, I've only ever played... Link's Awakening, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, and now Echoes of Wisdom.
Really?
Yeah, that's all my Zelda. Link's Awakening was my first Zelda.
Wow.
I watched my dad play
Skyward Sword?
No,
Twi-Pri. Okay.
Twilight Princess, sorry. I love calling it Twi-Pri.
You have seen speedruns of, I think, every Zelda game at this point, though.
I've seen speedruns of almost. I think definitely Majora's Mask, definitely Seasons something.
Oracle of Seasons.
The one, Link to the Past. I've seen.
The original.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Zelda 2 has been on GDQ.
What was the one where they were swimming? Was that Ocarina of
Wind
Time?
Waker.
Wind Waker, yes.
Wind Waker. That's a good one.
That speedrun's wild.
I think that's in my top 3. I think Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, and Link's Awakening are my top 3. Sorry. I'm digressing. I think we've talked a lot of Zelda today.
Yeah, that was actually a very long discussion, but it's because it's fresh.
Yeah, it is fresh, and we're both doing it, so it's like an actual discussion. Are we ready for me to?
Yeah, I was actually gonna because we spent so long on the discussion, propose maybe just one rapid fire round to
okay,
one rapid fire to rule them all to close out our season 3.
Okay.
Is that okay, or
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Listeners, email us if you're not fine with that.
Right, and then we'll release a bonus at some point of
two more. We'll email it back to you. It'll be a private episode.
I'm just trying to see. So, but real quick, because we talked about AGDQ, I really want them to speedrun Echoes of Wisdom. I think it would be so funny.
Oh, are you checking the schedule?
Yes, because the last time I checked, they had a bunch of open slots, and Echoes of Wisdom wasn't on the schedule at all. And they've already run it, like GDQ as the stream,
like within the week of it coming out.
Has already run it. So there's no way someone hasn't submitted this, right? Like,
right.
There's got to be. So keep an eye out. I really hope they have it. I don't know for sure if they will.
We'll post it in the show notes if we find out one way or another.
Sounds good. All right. So our final rapid fire of 2024 rapid fire round is where we generate 3 random words. We come up with a game idea based on those 3 words. We come up with a name for that game, and we come up with a gameplay loop, all in 5 minutes. Are you ready for our first and final of 2024?
Yes, I am. 3, 2, 1, go.
Raise, harvest, breathe.
Just for clarity, raise spelled RAI.
RAISE.
Okay. Raise, harvest, and
breathe.
Okay. All right.
Cabbage Patch Babies. Babies from the earth.
Ooh, okay. Okay. So it's a farming sim.
But it's babies.
But it's
I kind
babies.
of hate this,
farming
but I'm going to
sims,
keep going with
adoptables. Okay. Okay. Yes, I actually love this. It is okay. Okay, is this a non-creepy weird way? Because I know you hate breeding mechanics,
right.
But if you plant two plants next to each other and they hybridize,
I think that's okay.
That's okay.
Because I think the idea, like, is that the baby plants are like if you planted two plants next to each other,
they would cross-pollinate.
Right, but those aren't babies. Those are just
Correct.
plants. And then they create a baby plant, and that's fine.
Okay, so to get new varieties of... Okay.
But I guess
do we want to stick to like Cabbage Patch,
no,
or do we want to do like this
like,
is like Pokemon, like it's creating like
they have to be creatures because otherwise it gets way too weird.
Okay, I this is actually a really good concept. Oh my god, have they done this before? I feel like someone's done this before. They had to have, because this is such a good idea. Okay, it's just like a creature battler,
right?
But also like mixed with like Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, where the crops that you're raising are the actual creatures,
right.
And like when you get like the good stats,
it is kind of like what we did. We did a game similar to this where you had like you were like selling creatures or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this I think the fact that it is like a farming sim as well as that adds so much. Like,
so like you got the daily, you've got like the daily thing, you've got energy.
You have to like seek out seeds that are like unique and special, and I think it's cool.
And the idea of like the cross-pollination, I feel like you could make like pretty complex mechanics around that, which these like creature raising game players like love. Like in Pokemon, the effort value, like initial value, secret moveset stuff, like they love deep diving into all that and like maximizing all that. I just said all that so many times. So you can create such a complex mechanic of like, distance and like type of plant and how those interconnect, and like you could like get pollinators.
Oh yeah.
And like different fertility soils.
Yes.
And like, if you plant this specific plant near water.
I was gonna say you could use terrain as well, like rocky terrain or like swampy terrain, and like
adaptable plants. Like if this plant will be different depending on where you plant it.
But it's also a creature, and then you get the creature, and then it's fun.
Yes.
Wow. I like this. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think we did all because you harvest, raise, and breathe is like because you're bringing life somehow into this world.
Yes, that's the loosest one, but I don't think it's the loosest we've ever been with a word.
No, we've been looser. So we kind of already described the gameplay loop. It's like find, buy.
Here's where breathe comes in. Okay. So like there's items that you acquire called like Breath of Life. And in order to turn a plant into a creature, you need to use these items on it. Creates a creature. Otherwise, it's just like a plant that has like you can use as items or you can sell.
I like that a lot because that also like solves the problem of like, well, why did the parent plants not have sentience, but like this child plants do? Oh, this is a good game.
This oh my god, this is
such
incredible.
A good game.
Wow.
Okay.
And it came from a rapid fire round.
Oh my gosh.
This is legitimately, I think, one of the best game ideas. Like, this is marketable, folks.
Oh, folks, we need a marketable game.
Delete this, hide this.
TM. Okay, but so the gameplay loop is you like cultivate seeds, you pick which ones to bring to life, and are you battling with them? Like, what was that?
Yeah. Okay. You battle with them. So it's like literally Stardew Valley plus Pokemon. So like there's like you can have like the gym system, so there's a series of like opponents that you need to defeat. Oh, we've got 15 seconds left.
We gotta name
it.
Monster Baby Garden Party.
Monster Baby Garden Party. Okay, so I'm gonna accept that.
We have to accept it because I'm not losing on the final rapid fire of the best game we've decided.
Yeah, what a way to end the year. I'm gonna accept Monster Baby Garden Party. I do think that when we release this game for real with our game studio that we're creating, we are going to have a better name because I feel
yeah, but I think this is I don't know.
Crop monsters.
I don't know.
That's too close.
Yeah.
Okay.
We heard
we
it.
Don't
we
need,
both
we
heard
don't
it.
need
We're
to
not
say
going to say it. We both heard it.
We don't need to say it.
Okay, well, anyway.
Do you think Cabbage Patch is like the copyrighted part of Cabbage Patch Kids? Okay.
Well, no, Cabbage Patch cannot be copyrighted. Because
imagine Cabbage Patch Monsters. Cabbage Patch Monsters.
I think they might find a way to sue you. I think they might find a way.
Cab Pat Mon.
I think we.
No,
you know
we're done. We're done. No.
What I came up with so far is better than what you've come up with after. So what was it? I don't even remember. Monster Baby Garden Party. Yeah.
Yes.
Or was it Baby Monster Garden Party?
Baby Monster Garden Party. I think. You'll find out when you're making the title for the episode.
Yeah. When we edit, I'll re-listen.
Oh man. Okay. Could you imagine if we just had a terrible game idea for the final rapid fire round of the season? B, we use the rapid fire round titles as episode titles,
right? And
so we'd only have one to pick from. So if it was trash,
I would probably be like, let's just do another rapid fire. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you so much for listening to our podcast this year. We are so excited to see you in 2025. You can email us, makethatgamepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on social media. We are at Make That Game Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and I made us a Blue Sky. Which is makethatgame.bluesky.whatever. So it's like BLSY or something. I don't know. Just search Make That Game on Blue Sky. There's not that many people on it yet.
They hit 1 million, I think.
Yeah, but the fact that Make That Game was available, that's why we're pod on all the other ones.
That's true.
So I was like, snipe. We also are on twitch.tv/makethatgame and youtube.com/@makethatgame to watch our replays of our streams. You can also stream our podcast there if you prefer, but there are no videos yet. There's some older ones, but we haven't video podcast in a while. And yeah, please continue to interact with us. We will be hopefully doing some stuff on social in the interim break between seasons, and we will be streaming on the 21st at 11:30 on Twitch Eastern, and so come check that out. And if you heard a game today that you think just has to exist, the only way to get it is if you get out there and make that game.